Good morning.
Morning.
Happy Thursday. All right. So, AJ, do you have an idea of what you're going to do for your final presentation?
I think about compound interest savings account for like getting a motorcycle or something. Something along those
Okay.
lines.
So, a compound interest, though, on a motorcycle, because if you're doing car loans, we haven't got there yet, and that's not compound interest. That would be
Okay.
on loan, unless you're trying to save money for it.
Yeah, that.
Okay. So if you're saving
Gotcha.
money for it, yeah, and then you could do the loan as well for, or if you're just going to pay cash, then you could do a couple different, options.
Uh,
Good morning. Good morning. Aaron, do you have an idea for your project?
Yes, I do.
Nice. What are you going to do?
I think I got to hone it in a little bit on exactly what I want to do, but I don't know if you've heard of it. There's this, I actually heard about this when we were doing our probability, and I wanted to try and see how it would work. But there's this savings account app called Yada that someone told me about. I don't know if you've heard of it, but it's a savings account specifically just for putting your money in, obviously, and it has a 3.67% interest rate, which for me, Chase is 0.01. So like a lot of people are going into it because it has a high interest rate. But their catch is that for every $25 you put in that savings account, you get a raffle ticket, and you pick numbers, and you can win certain amounts, and the maximum you can win is like $10 million if you get all numbers throughout the entire week. And I wanted to figure out the probability of winning that, or
Nice.
how much money would you put in to guarantee that you can get any number? Because there's only a certain amount of numbers that you can choose from. So yeah, I think you just hone in, like, do I want to do something that's more about the interest rate and figuring that out? Do I want to do something probability wise? So I think it's just more of like centering in on that.
Nice. That sounds fascinating, Aaron. I love that idea. Good. And whichever way you go, either way. And you could just give, if you really kind of want to touch on the interest rate, you could just, when you give your overview of the program, you could kind of just explain that and just explain what you just did to me, how at your bank it's way low, but this is much higher. And then you could move on to the probability if you want, or vice versa, if you kind of want to touch on both of them. Excellent. Hello, everyone who's here. I know we're going to have a couple people absent. I'm shocked. Um, but I do want to make this valuable for you because I think if you spend your time today working on your final presentation, you'll have a lot of it done and you won't have to do super, super big amounts outside of class, and you'll be pretty confident in your project. So before I put you in breakout rooms or anything, I want to talk to you about a couple things. So first of all, let me start sharing my screen. If you thought I was just picking on AJ and Aaron because I just went over their projects with them, I'm not. I'm going to pick on all of you, so it'll be okay. We'll discuss each person's project, so and you might ask each other questions, or you might help each other. It might come up with ideas. Like AJ's was thinking about saving money for a motorcycle, right? So how can he get an account that would give him compound interest, and how long would it take him to save up a certain amount to buy that motorcycle? And then maybe he doesn't have to save up all of it. Maybe he's just going to save up part of it so he could finance the rest of the motorcycle, and he could look at a few different scenarios there. And then you just heard Aaron talking about a savings plan, but really it's like a probability because there's a raffle involved as well. So that's kind of awesome. So Amanda, Malachi, Olivia, and Valerie will talk about yours as well. And it's nice because you still have a couple weeks to work on this, right? So it'll get you going. All of a sudden, my throat hurts, like literally 15 minutes ago. Okay, maybe I made a mistake. I drank a Sunny D, and now my throat hurts. Thank you, Olivia, for that face. You're like, wait, how old are you and you're drinking a Sunny D? Sunny Ds are the best things on earth, by the way. It's one of those tiny ones. Those little tiny, like when you used to be 4 and you played soccer and they gave you those after the game. Yeah, super fun. Who else likes Sunny D? Anyone? Thank you. Okay, now, but why did it make my throat hurt? No one knows. We have no idea, but I'm upset about it, and I'm trying to drink some water. So, okay. Thunderbird Thursday. Look at this fun thing that I made for you guys. First of all, I don't think any of you are done this semester, are you? Are any of you done? I do have a couple. Amanda, are you done after this semester with MCC? Oh, I'm so excited. I don't know how I forgot that. Okay, so did you already do your graduation stuff? Yay. Are you going to do the drive-through graduation on the 14th? I'm out of town. Otherwise, I would be like, you better be there because I'm going to throw candy at you. It'll be like reverse parading. But I'm going to be at my son's graduation, right, in Nebraska. So anyway, if you know somebody who wants to do the drive-through graduation, make sure you pass that along to them. And then Amanda, what's the next step? Are you transferring? Are you done? What are you doing?
Yeah, I actually just got my I just got my enrollment to NAU.
Are you going to Flagstaff in the fall?
No, I'm just gonna take online courses because I live in a house in Tempe, so but I just got it enrolled to NAU, and I just got approved to my counselor or advisor or whatnot. So I'm pretty excited about that.
That is so exciting. Did you know I'm an NAU alum?
I didn't.
I am. That's where I got my undergraduate degree.
Oh, that's cool.
NAU. Yeah, I did go to Flagstaff, but
okay, yeah.
That was mostly to get away from my parents.
That makes sense.
So,
yeah.
Yeah, because they lived in Tucson. So, but yeah, I love NAU, and their online program is really, really good. Like they have a lot of resources and a lot of help. So good. Anyone else done after this semester? All right. Well, don't forget, I know a lot of you are transferring to other institutions, or maybe you're just done, but if you're that close, complete your 2-year degree so you get that diploma, because it's very worthwhile and it's a huge accomplishment, even if you're transferring to a university. So check out your credits and see if you're close to that. And don't forget to apply to graduation when it applies to you. And maybe we'll actually have a graduation next time, right? That would be exciting. Graduation is my favorite. I love graduation. Okay, so then look at these 3 things going on. This one is going on today. Isn't it the 29th today? I feel like it's the 29th. Right here, this one, if anyone is into dance, sometimes I have dance students. This is an alum is talking about being a successful dancer, film editor, and artist. So I think that's kind of cool. And that's today from noon to 3. And then there's a dance showcase Friday, May 7th. Our dance program is really good. So, and you can just click on that link for tickets. I had to put this on the slide. Have any of you heard of this musical called Urinetown? Me neither, but don't you love the name of it? My kids were like, no, it sounds like people will be urinating. I don't think that's what's going to happen. I mean, I'm just guessing, but I don't think that's true. So I'm really tempted to buy some tickets. $15 per device. And it says it's a satirical comedy musical that premiered in 2001. So I think it sounds fun. So if you and your friends are looking for something to do, it's online. So just buy the $15. If you have 3 friends, that would be pretty cheap, right? So, and watch that musical. Sounds hilarious just because of the name urine. Actually, I read the description below and it did sound very good. So there's stuff going on and you might want to check it out. So I liked that for Thunderbird Thursday. Any questions or anybody know anything else that's going on that I missed? This is also all linked in my updates and announcements for the week. So in case you don't see the link in the slides, you can always go to our updates and announcements and look at them. All right. Remember what we have left. You have just a few assignments left. You're going to have a finance test, a vehicle project, and then your final exam project. So that's like separate from all the little assignments that we do in more. But don't forget about those. These are the biggies, right? Your final exam project is worth 20% of your grade. So that's a big deal. Make sure you pay attention to that. So make sure you review the rubric. When it gets closer, practice your presentation and definitely review your mathematics. You can take those mathematics to me or to the tutoring center and have them make sure that your math is correct. Because if your math is not correct, it's going to be hard to get a good grade on that. Okay. So the first thing you have to do is identify the competency. So for example, if we look at what AJ's was talking about some financing. So maybe a loan, right? And maybe about some, I don't know why one of these here doesn't just say compound interest, but you could also calculate the annual interest rate versus the annual yield for AJ's project. For Aaron's, he could also talk about interest rates, right? Or he could also talk about probability models, and he could talk about probability involving combinations and permutations, because that would be your raffle. Or even this one, right? Odds in favor, odds against. So yeah, and you could do more than one. You just have to do one, right, on this list. Okay, and then make sure you go through all of these things. I have a link right here. I have your final presentation information here, as well as the rubric. So I can put that back in the chat for you. So you have that because I want to make sure that you review that. That's the only time I have students who do poorly on this is if they wait to the last minute or they don't review the rubric. That's when I have students that really have a problem, okay? The other thing is I have my template, right, for the slides. So, and it kind of walks you through how to do it. If you like PowerPoint better than Google Slides, that's totally fine. No worries, just use PowerPoint. Just make sure you tell me. And we're able to present on presentation day. The last thing I wanted to show you, I think I have to do it with this. Hold on one sec. I want to show you a couple of past projects. Does that sound nice? Just a couple of them so you can work. So let me find them. Hold on. I had them pulled up, all organized for you. Okay. Okay, so I have 3 and they're very different. So, but it'll help you see, and I'm just going to show you just a glimpse of them. Okay, so can you see Do you see yourselves, or do you see a slide that says Sydney Myers? You see Sydney Myers? Okay, good. So let me go back here. So she was comparing statistics and specifically about poverty because she is a social work major. So she did a little intro. She started teaching the concept. So bar graphs, histograms, pie charts. She has an example about poverty by race in 2014. And then she showed it in a bar graph. And then she keeps explaining why this is not a histogram. And then she gives another example and a circle graph or a pie chart. And then she explained how it helps, and she has her citations. Okay, so this was meaningful to her because she's a social worker. The other one I have is, this was a student who was network administration, computer network administration. So, and he did, you can see financing and loan options for a small business, solving applications involving loans and amortization. So he's talking about Ben's builds, and he talks about, he gives us a little background that's more in his area of expertise. And then he gives some prices on how you can do this. So this is how much they needed, $13,000. And then they talked about finance options. He found microloans, and he compared bank 1 to bank 2. And then he did the math. So, and he obviously put me, and we had an embedded tutor last time. So, but look at this. He showed all his work on his TVM solver. He just took screenshots of it. And then he explained, and then he explained why that one was the winner. And then he showed his work cited. So do you see how that's very different than the social work presentation, right? Totally different. And then one of the last ones I had, this is the last thing we cover, and we'll do it just after loans in just like a day. And you've done this information before. This is conversions and dental hygiene. And we were talking about dimensional analysis and unit conversion. So she gave us some unit conversions and explained the metric system, and then explained how, as a dental hygienist, you might have to take measurements of certain things like anesthesia dosage, temporary fillings, or sealants, and you might have to mix materials that use the metric system in the instructions. So, and she did an example problem where she had to figure out the maximum dose of anesthesia, in this case lidocaine, to provide a patient before their cavity filling. So, and then she does the problem. If a patient weighs 44 pounds and is 6 years old, how do you convert this? And she explained that. And she has her solution. And then she reflected, and she has her citation. So those were 3 wildly different presentations, right? One was social work, one was finance, but with a twist on network administration and computers. And then the third was a dental hygienist. You can do anything you want. You just have to include the mathematics that's behind it, right? So did that help you see some other projects? Did that help you a little bit? Okay, excellent. So what we're gonna do today is I'm just gonna give you time to work and ask me questions, and you can do your research. I'll put you in breakout rooms. There's not very many of us. So I think I'll probably put a couple of you together, and then if you so like, oh, I remember Valerie talking about this, maybe I should go into Valerie's room. I can allow you to do that too. And when you're in your breakout rooms, you should be able to come back to this main room anytime you want. Okay, so I'll stay in the main room too. So if you notice I'm not coming to check on you, then we can go that way. Okay, so we know that Aaron might be looking at some finance or some probability things. AJ's looking at some finance things. Amanda, what are you looking at today?
I think that I was gonna go with the solve real life problems using exponential growth, but I don't think we've covered that quite yet, have we?
We do it a tiny bit in like loans and stuff. We just didn't do, when we do compounded continuously, that is exponential growth. So
Okay.
in our loans, we do exponential growth. So what specifically, how is that going to apply to your program of study?
I was just gonna do something like with like homelessness and like the rate of exponential growth from the year 2016 to now. Just because been looking at the statistics from that, but I just want to make sure. I'll probably ask you about it later, but just like if I'm using the right formula for the exponential growth.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thanks, Amanda. That's a great idea.
Okay.
Olivia, what are you doing?
I swear I had this idea before you showed the example of the project, but it's really similar to the social work one that you showed us, the statistics and like poverty and all of that.
That's totally fine. It's okay. I mean, that's not a, unheard of thing. I think a lot of people who go into social work are concerned about poverty and how to end poverty and what it looks like in trends. So no worries.
Okay.
I don't think you copied it, so
Okay.
you're fine. All right. How about you, Valerie?
I was going to view my small business and see how much I need just to have a vacation. Would that be a good one?
Yeah, that's great. So are you going to look at trying to save money, or what are you looking at?
Well, I have money saved right now, but I want a little bit more to have fun. So
Okay.
I want to have like, I guess I could do like how much I will have if I make this certain amount of sales, and
Yeah,
then
you can totally do that. Yeah.
I could probably compare my sales from last year to this year.
That's
See,
a great idea.
yeah, I'll do
And
that.
Valerie, the other thing you can do is, like, the more popular your sales are, do you need to adjust your prices for inflation or popularity? So you could look at that, right? How do I have to adjust my prices? Like, how much would something cost in 5 years? Or if your costs go up, those kind of things.
Yeah, I feel like my costs were really like wholesale prices, and I raised my price to 27 to 37 right now. And from there, I'm able to have things in my website than having nothing. And I seen some of my stuff on other people's shop to like get my business a little bit higher, but I'm still learning how to. It's just a side, um, just like a side extra money for me and my family.
Yeah, that's nice. You never know what a side business can grow to, right?
Yeah.
Good. Malachi, how about you?
I think I'm gonna do like comparing like different like bank loans for business startup. So like I'll just take a business that or like something I'm interested in starting up and then figure out the bank loan, how much it'll be, and then maybe I could figure out how long it'll take off, like how long it'll take to pay off the loan. So
I think that's a great idea. That's really important, along kind of like the lines of Valerie. Valerie just already has a business. So good. How about you, Jende?
So we had talked about this yesterday when you came in the breakout room. So I had finally decided that I was going to do a comparison of how many people in the whole US were incarcerated before COVID and after COVID. Well, during COVID. So I'm just going to I'm just going to compare the numbers and then find the percentage of it and then
Okay,
present that.
excellent. So you're more on percentages and maybe data analysis. I'm going to look at our little chart and see if I have, I'm sure it's on there. Now I don't even find this silly little, oh, there it is. I'm looking at the competency, because don't forget to look at the competency.
Oh, yeah.
I swear we have one with percents. I'm going to look for it too, but you definitely could use the statistics module where you organize, analyze, and display data using multiple representations.
Okay.
Yeah, good. Okay, so I'm going to put you in your breakout rooms now, and you can call me in to answer any questions you want. I tried to put you with someone that you might be able to ask them questions. So Jenday, I don't have anyone that's perfect for yours yet, but Angelina was here and disappeared. So I don't know what happened, like her connection might be bad. So Jenday, would you rather be in a room by yourself, or do you think any of the other groups could help you?
I can stay by myself. That's fine.
Okay, and when Angelina comes, we'll ask her what her project is. And you're not really by yourself, like I can come in whenever you want.
Okay.
Okay, excellent. So go ahead and get to work. And then if you have any questions, you can let me know. If you have any questions on PF8, since you have homework on that due tonight, right? Due tonight, you could also ask me questions about that. If you're like, okay, I've done as much as I can on my final project right now, I just need to crank out this homework, I'm totally fine with that too. Okay? Just use your time wisely. All right, I'll put you in your rooms. Sorry, Aaron, I'm just gonna close the rooms and maybe it'll be easier.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, so you would need, basically you would need that many tickets, right? Oh my goodness, now I can't hear you again. So annoying, this technology. Yeah, but Aaron, I think that's a great idea to look at that.
I think I'm just going to send a letter because it keeps cutting out. It might be a faster way of communication.
I know, I feel terrible. Sorry about that.
No,
Okay.
it's my internet.
You know, it's probably the combo of everybody's, right? Okay, so I hope that this time was valuable for you. Was this time valuable for you? Like you were like, yeah, because I don't do anything when I log out of class. I forget about the final project until the day before it's due. So that's what I don't want to happen. I feel like if you got a big chunk of it, or at least an idea of where you're going, it's going to be easier in the end. And definitely make it your own. Yes, it's about mathematics, but it's also about what you're interested in and how the mathematics applies to you, right? So if you review these slides later, I do have like what you're supposed to do on your presentation, and then what you're supposed to do as an audience member. And then don't forget, you have your payout annuity practice that's due tonight. You have your reading quiz that's due on Sunday. Okay. And then, oh, I'm going to post the finance review. I forgot and didn't post it. I'll post it right now. So if you want to get started on that over the weekend, because you have all this free time and you just love to do math, right? That, yeah, I love those spaces. Yeah, it's true. So then you could do that. And then also work on your final presentation. I think my exit ticket is very nice today, like very brief, not even mathy. But let me find it. Let me put it in the chat for you. And then please ask me if you have any questions. Aaron and I have been trying to iron out some mathematics and some ideas. But we also sometimes have technology issues, and it makes it very challenging to hear. So if you want to email me anything, you can do that too. Yeah, my exit ticket is just remind me what your final presentation is about. So it won't grade it, or at least I hope it won't grade it. You just answer it. Okay, other than that, have a great weekend. Yay! I'll stay here if you have any questions. I'm going to post that in your final review too. Hi, Deshay. Everybody is filling out their exit ticket right now on what their final presentation project is about. So do you know what yours is about yet?
Yes.
What is it about? We all shared ours today.
Okay. I want mine to be like how we talked about yesterday. I think I'm gonna do the amount of wins and losses throughout MCC basketball team.
Okay, and you might want to look at some comparison, like from, the past teams. Like maybe you find like a really good team and a really bad team, or an average. Like you could compile all the data and say, what is the average wins and losses over all time? And then how is my team compared to that? Bye, AJ.
Right. I think I'm gonna do the team that won the national championship, which was in 2014.
I thought it wasn't that long ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's an awesome idea. And I'm so sorry about your power outage today.
That's okay.
What a bummer that is, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm glad you got your power back, and make sure you get all your assignments done. Do that exit ticket, and then I will see you on Monday.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, good. Valerie or Malachi, do you have any questions?